You're listening to the Morning Punchin' Show with RB and Jae, live and direct from more cities than an Instagram model's bio. Get ready for some boxing talk on the clock. Let's face it, you're not working and somebody's got to pay for the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Are you on the card?
Yeah.
I mean, starting it? You are? Okay. We are here with Darmani Rock, Philly's own heavyweight. What's good?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. Make sure you talk in the mic so we can hear you loud and clear. You talk low. So I've been wanting to pick your brain for a long time. Philly fighter. I want to just know more about you because I think that people don't know more about you. Like, where are you from? Who you train with? Just all these things that I think should be put out there. So let's start off. What part of Philly are you from?
Germantown.
Germantown. And I know that you train with Fred Jenkins. Is that right?
Yeah, he helped train me, but my dad is my trainer.
Okay.
Fred Jenkins helped train me though.
Okay. So you're usually in that gym? Are you in there working with Ryan Jennings and Jesse Hart, or who you working with in Philly?
I work with whoever, but I don't train down there no more. I got my own gym.
Oh.
Where's your gym located?
Frankfurt, Cambria, and Cedar.
Mhm.
So that's where I'm at now.
Okay. Coming out of the amateurs, you had your name was buzzing, and a lot of people were coming at you with offers. I know Top Rank wanted you, some other companies did. What made you decide to sign with Rock Nation? You a Jay-Z fan?
Yeah. But
it wasn't that.
No,
Okay,
business first. But they had the best opportunity and stuff, and one of the main things was making money outside the ring. So I don't always got to be boxing to make money, with the marketing and stuff like that.
So what have they been doing for you outside of the ring? Is there endorsements, or are you doing commercials? I mean, what are you doing outside?
Well, Fila, they put me with Fila. We ain't doing no commercials yet, but it's still early.
Yeah. So this year is your first year pro.
Yes.
How many fights did you get in this year?
5.
It's not bad. 5 fights, and we're in November, so you're going on fight number 6.
Right.
So that's not bad. You're fighting every other month?
Yes.
Something like that?
Yes.
That's good. So how do we get your name out there more? Because, I follow you just because of where I'm from, and, we're from the same backyard. But for the other people, I'm always talking about Darmani Rock. We actually have a game on this show that we play with our callers, and I say, name us some top prospects. And a lot of people can't do it yet. So how do we get your name out there more? What's going to have to happen? You're going to have to do something.
I guess more fights.
Yeah.
I know my name going to be out there after this fight, so.
Who's your opponent Saturday?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Is Fred out here with you?
Yeah, Fred here.
Uh-huh. And then this is your dad?
No, it's
Oh.
uncle. He helped train me too.
All right, Fred. Was Fred just over there with Malik Scott? Did he go over there with him?
Yeah, he went over there.
That was a terrible fight.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was bad. So, all right, so let's talk about the heavyweight division. Who catches your eye? Not that you want to fight them because we know you're still young, but who do you kind of look up to and say, wow, that's a bad man in my division?
Tell you the truth, I don't really watch boxing, so I don't. I can't tell you that. I'd be lying if I told you. I don't really watch boxing.
So it's just not your love? It's just something that you do?
Yeah,
and
I
that
love
you're good
boxing.
At?
I just don't want to watch it.
Hey, him, nobody in his division.
When you did watch it, you had to watch it as a child.
Not at all.
You never watched boxing. You just woke up one day and said, I'm going to box.
Yeah, I was trying sports. My dad put me in boxing, and I didn't like it at first, but I still did it. And probably like 2 years ago, I started to fall in love with boxing. But I don't really watch boxing.
I don't think people realize how young you are. How old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
He's a baby. He's a baby. So let's talk a little bit about Philly boxing then. Maybe you don't watch boxing in general, but Philly, it's a hotbed for boxing. It's almost like a religion. I mean, there's a gym on every corner. There's a world champ that's come out of every gym. So right now in Philly, what fighters are just really doing their thing? Who are you looking at and you think he's putting Philly on the map?
Jesse Hart, Julian Williams, BY.
Y'all got a lot. Danny Garcia.
Yeah, Danny Garcia.
Go to that fight in Philly last week when he fought
Nah.
the boy Vargas. You didn't go?
I don't really care for watching boxing or really going to fight.
But you know what? That's being honest. So we have this game here called Fishbowl, and you could pick out a question, and if you want to read it or I can read it for you, and you got to answer it as honest as you can. His question is, if you had your own talk show, who would your first 3 guests on your show be? Who would you want to interview if you had your own talk show? In general, not just boxing.
Floyd, Jay-Z, and that's all I could think of.
Jay, who would your 3 be?
Oprah.
Dang, I was going to say Oprah. Don't say J-Lo, because she's my second one.
Oprah, Beyonce, and Hugh Jackson.
I would pick Oprah, J-Lo, and Michelle Obama.
Oh, that's a good show.
Yeah, we're going to rock. All right, we're going to do another one. This is how the people are going to get to know you more on a personal level. I don't like that one. That one didn't really make sense. Not for your age. All right. If you could be on a reality television show, which one would it be?
I like Love and Hip Hop.
Hold on. Don't tell me you could rap.
No, I can't
Can
rap.
you sing?
No, not at all.
because we have people drop bars over here all day.
Oh, no,
Yeah, you
at
met
all.
Curtis Stevens yesterday was singing Miguel.
Right.
We had Roy Jones singing We Are the World. Yeah. One more. When did you fall in love with boxing? He hasn't fallen in love, so one more.
Well, he said 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, that one don't count. All right, last one. What song most describes your life right now? If there was one song that's your theme song, it describes who you are right now.
Shine off of DC4 Meat Mills.
Okay. All right, Darmani Rock from Germantown, Philly. We wish you all the best Saturday night. We'll be following you. Thank you. You're welcome.
And we are back. Sorry about that. Las Vegas, there's a lot of devices here, a lot of stuff going on. But yes, that was our time with Darmani Rock. Maybe he could watch a little bit more boxing sometime.
Yeah, he's really quiet, really humble, doesn't have much to say. It wasn't easy, but I thought we did good with him.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. You know,
everybody's
not going to be the life of the party. You need all sorts of personalities. And so good luck to him. He'll be fighting on the card tonight. He don't know who he's fighting, but that's all right.
We don't know who he's fighting either.
No, he's not fighting this stick.
All right, so we also got the opportunity to sit and have a candid sit-down talk with two-time gold medalist Claressa Shields, and it was great pride that we got to sit and chat with her, Jay, and we got really deep. We got to talk about women empowerment and all types of great things, and good for her for making a big payday tonight.
Yes.
So let's share our candid talk with our listeners with Claressa Shields.
Let's go.
We are live on the Morning Punch and Show at RB Jae. We are here today with the very young 21-year-old Claressa Shields. She's earned her place in history as a two-time Olympic gold medalist in boxing, not only in superior boxing, but an ambassador for the city of Flint, Michigan, a shining example for all women and anyone who's ever faced adversity in life and it's overcome through hard work and dedication and perseverance. It's great pride to have you here on our show today. Does it get old at all hearing two-time? Has it gotten old yet?
No, I always love the new introductions. It's always fine with me.
You like how about the two-time? Has that really stuck with you?
Two-time is a good nickname. I only thought of two-time because Rashi Warren is three-time, but I'm two-time Olympic gold, so I just keep it short and say two-time.
Mm-hmm. So you've been in the Olympics with many of the guys. Who have you been the closest to? Who could you say is one of your best friends from the Olympic team?
You know what? I had a different relationship with everybody on the team. I wasn't really close with anyone, but I think me and Antonio Vargas and then me and Shakur Stevenson had a really, really close, tight relationship. Those are like my little brothers. They live right across the hall from me, and we spent a lot of our time together.
Right after you won your second Olympic gold medal, your post-fight interview, you were brought to tears. And talk us through trying to keep yourself composed in that post-fight interview. It was so beautiful. It was like that moment really sunk in. You knew you won, but during that interview, it sunk in. What was it like in that moment?
I wasn't there. That was an out-of-body experience. I don't know. Anybody you can talk to, anybody will tell you that I am overly confident in that I knew for a fact that I could win 2 Olympic gold medals. I knew deep down in my heart that I would do it. It was just the fact of actually doing it is what threw me for the biggest loop in the world, and I was just so happy, and I didn't know where my life went next. And I think that was just an out-of-body experience. I don't know who that girl was. I just know that girl was internally happy.
All right, so professional women boxers are really starting to make a dent in the sports landscape. How did you come to the decision to turn pro rather than stay amateur and try to go for your third gold?
Well, I didn't want to disappear for 4 years. You know, I didn't want to win an Olympic gold medal, and then you guys didn't hear about me or see me box till 2020 in the Olympic final or semifinals. And I was just like, I want to start my legacy, and for me to go down in history as the best woman fighter, I would have to go pro. And disappearing for 4 years is not a good thing to do. You know, I already did it 2012, and then leading up to 2016. So now we're in 2016. And I was like, I didn't want to do it again. I wanted to stay relevant, and I know that there's not a woman that's pro that can beat me. Period. And Christina Hammer, Cecilia Brockes, all those girls, whoever got a belt, whoever don't have one, there's not a girl that can beat me. And just with long as I'm gonna take my time, and probably by my 7th fight I'll be fighting a 12-rounder. But I'm definitely gonna take my time, and I'm gonna fight a 6-rounder, an 8-rounder, 10-rounder, and make sure that I'm in a proper shape. And even with that, even if I was to fight any of those girls right now, the only thing that they have over me is that I haven't ever fought 12 rounds. But if you think about if they was to fight me in a 4-rounder, I would win. But when you think about 12 rounds, think about, am I in shape for 12 rounds? And have I ever endured, 12 rounds of boxing, which I haven't. But I'm just saying, just give me the time to actually be on that level, and I can beat any of them.
now on the verge of your first professional fight career. You said you think you only need about 7 fights to get you to that position to challenge some of these other belt holders. How realistic or how long do you think it'll take you to get those 7 fights to get to that level? Will you have to travel? Do you think the U.S. is ready to have it here? How long do you think that road will take you realistically?
After this fight, it can come fairly fast. It's just about it's about taking advantage of being on TV, taking advantage of actually fighting and performing. And I'm fighting on TV on the Andre Ward Kovalev card, and I have a large fan base. Everybody is super excited about me fighting. Andre Ward is excited about me fighting. I don't know about Kovalev, but he will be after. And just with that, I'm gonna go up there and give out the best performance that I can. And then after that, I think I can steal the fans' hearts, and then they'll always want to watch me, and I'll be in a high demand. It's in our sport of women's boxing. There's too many women. Respect any of them, but there are too many women who wanted to carry the torch of women's boxing but not have that skill level to be there. And that's no disrespect to them, but when you're carrying the sport, you have to be able to get that respect. You have to be able to say that when people see you fight, they don't just say that you're tough. They say, wow, she can box, she can jab, right hand, she has a lot of skill. And that's what women's boxing has lacked, and that's what I'm bringing to the table, along with a lot of punching power.
So you've been real patient before signing with anybody. Well, to my understanding, I know that other promotional companies have wanted you and from Golden Boy to Top Rank to Rock Nation and Main Events. And so I know you've been taking your time. What are the things that you're looking for? Do you want to hear from someone before you decide to sign on that dotted line? Or have you signed with Rock Nation?
I'm a free agent. I haven't signed with anybody. But what I'm looking for is, one, a nice signing bonus, and then 2, a beautiful game plan. Somebody that understands and has actually watched me box. I don't want somebody who just, wants to have the privilege of saying, oh, I have Claressa Shields. Right. I want somebody who actually believes in me as much as I believe in myself. I don't want to have to try to make them believe in what has already been proven twice, that I'm a great fighter. I'm not trying to do that, and I really don't have enough time to do that. It's like I have time to box.
After the 2012 Olympics, and I just want to put this into perspective, Gabby Douglas, the gymnastic girl, she received, like $10 million in endorsements. Yeah. How much harder is it for you as a boxer, being a gold medalist, to get on the Wheaties box, to get endorsements? Why is it so much harder? Or did you get $9 million in
I wish. But, with boxing, even at the Olympics, it doesn't really show much of it. It shows a lot of the swimming, the gymnastics, the running. It doesn't show a lot of the other sports, which are just as important. Or even basketball. Like this year in the Olympics, 2016, I was a big name at the Olympics. Everybody on Team America and from other countries knew exactly who I was going into the Olympics. And I took pictures every day. And I was the Muhammad Ali of the Olympic Village. Everybody knew who I was, so I was a big deal at the Olympics. But when you don't get that TV time, it still can take away from, you getting the endorsements and the endorsers seeing your face and the sponsorships and things of that nature. But once again, that's why you just have to put yourself out there as much as you can, but still perform on a high level. So I don't know why it was so hard. I kind of think 2012, it's this definition of strong woman that everybody lives by, and the strong woman is, feminine, wears makeup, straight hair. And then you have me and Serena Williams and Venus, and that's the definition of a real strong woman. It goes further than appearance, and I think that Serena is absolutely gorgeous, for one. But
I have always called you the Serena Williams of boxing. I don't know if you've seen me tweet that to you before, but I have always said that she is the Serena Williams of boxing.
I was a huge fan of Serena Williams. I'm a huge fan of her as sport, but not of her as a person. But that's my own personal things. But when you think about strong women, about the things we had to overcome, and also being the strongest of the women. I was one of the heaviest hitters in my weight class, and I'm the smallest girl in my weight class, but I'm one of the heavy hitters, and I'm the fastest. And you think about my upbringing and how I grew up, that's what a strong woman is. I think people rely too much on appearance.
Right.
And that's why I believe Gabby Douglas was able to get the endorsement stuff, because her sport is prettier. You'll never see me smile inside the ring unless I get a knockout.
Right.
But other than that, you're going to see me be serious the whole time until I get the job done. So with that, I can't wear my hair, in a nice ponytail. It may start off with a nice ponytail, but by the end of the round, my hair is going to be all over my head. Yeah, so, just with gymnastics, you can do that. But in boxing, I can get my hair done right before I enter the ring. But when I get out, it's all over my head. So I think that's the difference.
Well, we are getting the signal from your team behind you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Okay.
We wanted to speak with you. You are a role model. You are an inspiration to many, not just women, but people, period, for all the things that you've overcome, for all you've accomplished, and all you will continue to accomplish.
Thank you.
You got some friends over here. Real quick, though, where are you today? Have you left Flint? Are you training in Vegas? Who are you training with? Can you give us any of that?
I live in Florida, West Palm. I have a 3-bedroom apartment. My little brother stays with me. He's a senior in high school. He'll be down here tomorrow.
Yeah.
I train in Boca Raton with Andre Durrell, and my coach right now is Leon Lawson. We're all like a big family from Flint who actually moved down to Florida. Andre's been down there the longest. I train with them, and me and Andre live 15 minutes from each other, so I go over to the house and eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner sometimes with this whole family, and they kind of accept me and my little brother in as one of them.
It seems like a lot of the fighters have really taken you under their wing. I mean, even Jamel Herring is always speaking you up, the Durrell brothers, you got Andre Ward who's got your back. And I know at the Olympics at that time, you were a little upset that Floyd didn't verbally congratulate you, but I think since then he has. Is that right?
Yeah, I've seen him in Miami on my vacation time. And I was with Michaela Mayer and Jenny Fuchs from the Olympic team, and we decided to we all had linked back up and wanted to go out, and we went to, I forget the club's name, but Floyd was back to the VIP. He told the security guards to let me come back to the VIP with him, asked me about 2 or 3 times if there was anything I needed, congratulated me on winning my 2 Olympic gold medals. And that was enough for me, and I give him a bunch of respect for that.
That's all you wanted was respect.
Yeah, just respect, and it's respect of, as a boxer, it's not, it's deeper than just congratulations on 2 Olympic gold medals. Watch the fight, know how I fight, and I always hate when people question my boxing ability, and it's like, what else do I have to prove? It's on the internet, go look at it, and it's like you have these people who won't do it, but they expect you to keep explaining to them why you're so great. Well, since you don't know why I'm so great, I can only tell you so much, and if you like it, you like it, and if you don't, I would have to go to someone else. But either way it goes, the plan of going down in history as the best woman to put on a pair of gloves will definitely get made with or without whoever. It's definitely going to happen.
I heard that. Thank you so much for coming by the Morning Punch. You have to answer the question as authentically as you can.
If you could be one for just 24 hours, what cereal box cartoon would you be? Cereal box cartoon. The cereal box cartoon character would you be? Cheerios. Why? Because he's spicy and I like stuff that's sweet.
One more.
Name your favorite song, sing/rap the hook. Meek Mill's Monster. The money turned me to a monster. The money turned the noodles into pasta. Okay. All right, no problem. Thank you.
All right, and that was Claressa Shields. I am so glad that she had the time, Jay, to come and speak to us, and I think she says some real stuff there regarding the sport of boxing not being pretty. She can't put the makeup on. She can't straighten her hair and put it in a pretty ponytail and walk away with $10 million in endorsements. I really didn't think about it like that.
I didn't
She
either.
schooled me.
Yeah, I learned a lot from her. She's very mature. She's been shaped by her experiences, and it's made her an articulate, insightful person, athlete, and there's great things ahead for her. And that girl can bang.
She sure can. Best of luck for her tonight. Before we get with Kathy Duva, why don't we give our scouting report, Jay, on Kovalev Ward? So I'll let you start off with Sergey Kovalev.
As you know, Sergey the Crusher Kovalev going in undefeated. 26 of his 30 victories have come by way of knockout. The Crusher, when he gets into the ring tonight, of course, we are going to see that stiff jab and that devastating power. We've seen it in fight after fight. He's called the Crusher for a reason. He's just a physically strong guy that is very adept at cutting the ring off. If I could pinpoint any weaknesses, he tends to leave a few openings in his guard, which lets him get hit a little bit more than he should. To fight against Andre Ward, who's a quick counterpuncher, he'll have to tighten up his defense a little bit. In terms of experience, Sergey is so well seasoned at this point in his career. He put on a clinic against Bernard Hopkins. Bernard hung in there, but he just wore him down round after round after round, and he has successfully defended his titles on 9 different occasions. Power, unquestionably, Sergey has the advantage when it comes to power. He throws each punch with bad intentions and has the potential to end the fight with a single punch at any time. In terms of speed, he has average speed, but he can turn it up a notch when he knows that his opponents are in retreat, so he can turn it on. Endurance, he's gone a full 12 rounds on 2 separate occasions, both of which were unanimous decision wins. That was in the fight against Bernard Hopkins and also in his most recent win in Russia over Isaac Chilemba. Sergey also liked to utilize his long-range aggressive style to pinpoint an accurate jab. He also delivers very, very accurately with powerful body shots. In terms of defense, the Crusher will be at a disadvantage because Andre Ward is a defensive specialist. However, Sergey's main strength is his offense, which he has established, and if he can get off,
All right. We are here, Morning Punch and Show at RB Jae with Miss Kathy Duva. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Michelle. How are
Hi,
you?
good. So tomorrow night we have 2 of the best fighters in the world fighting each other, and you, as a woman, Miss Kathy Duva, are promoting the biggest fight in probably the past decade. How's that feel?
Pretty exciting. I'm running on adrenaline now, so I can't feel anything, but I'm really excited.
Yeah. Well, I totally admire you, and so I kind of want to know, I know the card's going to be great, but how many pay-per-view fights have you been involved with in your career?
Well, God, I can't even count. The first one was when Holyfield beat Douglas. Mm-hmm. Then HBO started a company called TVKO, and the original partners were Main Events, Top Rank, and HBO. So during the time TVKO, from the time it began, for the next, 5-10 years or whatever, we promoted an awful lot of pay-per-view fights. I can't count them. Holyfield fought on pay-per-view all the time, mm-hmm. and after him, Lennox Lewis fought on pay-per-view all the time. We had some big ones with Whitaker. So, just to count, I don't even think I can do that off the top of my head. We also did some with Vargas, mm-hmm. Fernando Vargas when he fought De La Hoya, when he fought Tito, he a few others, Mayorga. He had quite a few, actually.
We had Pernell Whitaker on yesterday, mm-hmm. and he was giving us some really funny stories, how back in the day, he said that he would save the company, that he would save Main Event.
Always. Always. Whenever we would have a couple bad losses, whatever, he would just come around, he'd put his arm around us and go, don't worry, I'm going to save. He'd say, I'd save the family. That's what he would say. I'm going to save the family. And every time something went wrong, you just come over, don't worry, I'm going to save the family. And he always did.
Talking about family, so this is a bit of a family affair. I was reading that you've been really mentoring your daughter, Nicole, mm-hmm. to maybe one day take over the company, and you compared her to be more like her father than you.
Oh, she's a carbon copy, and actually, sometimes I feel like she's mentoring me now. So I'm just going with it. It's my comfortable place.
Yeah.
I am not this assertive take charge person at all. She is. And when I try to be something I'm not, it doesn't work out. So I find that I'm better at being more on the creative side of it, creating the storylines, talking about, finding business in the future. I'm always thinking 3, 4, 5 years ahead. And I have the luxury of being able to do that now because she is keeping her eye on the present. And what I used to have to do with the marketing, worrying about every little thing that's happening and going on, I don't even have to think about it anymore. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, and she's so great at it. Another family affair is over at Rock Nation. Who's over there? Dino Duva. He is your brother-in-law.
Yeah.
And he works at Rock Nation. What does he do over there for them?
He is like their, I don't know his title actually, but he's like their boxing guy. They have a lot of people that work on boxing, but he's the one who knows about it.
So, are you guys having Thanksgiving dinner next week together? I mean, has there been like a rivalry? Are you guys at all?
No, what happened was when my husband passed away, I inherited his family's business. Not a good thing to do.
Oh.
Give people advice. And so there were a lot of very difficult times, and in the end, it came down to either I was going to take it out on my own or they were going to take it, and in the end, I took it. So we haven't worked together in any capacity in probably 15 years. We haven't had Thanksgiving dinner together or anything. We see each other at family functions, at weddings and funerals and that sort of thing, picnics every now and then, but it's not like it was. My children have more of a relationship with them. But this is the first time Dino and I have worked together in any capacity in many, many years, and kind of opposite each other more than together.
Wow. I want to just frankly ask you, I've heard in the past Golden Boy works with Rock Nation on Cota Canelo. I know that Top Rank has tried to make fights with Rock Nation, and they've all seemed to just have such difficult times working with them. And I know they're a new company, and they're trying to change the game and the landscape of boxing, but how's it been for you guys working with them on this event?
Oh,
I have some quotes here from Jolene that I could read. Jolene said, "They are crazy. They are sick. Horrible."
I'll just go with challenging.
All right.
Not want to bite her tongue, Jolene.
Right.
No.
So there is a rematch clause. Kovalev has a rematch clause. I read that you said if Kovalev were to lose, God forbid, that he would absolutely want to exercise the rematch clause. You were saying that Andre Ward, it's a little more difficult. So what did you mean by that? I mean, if Ward loses...
it's a little more complicated. If it's in a situation, Sergey's got the title, so of course we have that right to get that rematch. That was part of what we bargained for when we made the deal. As far as the Ward side said, well, if this is a great fight and we want to do it again, we want to have the right to do it again too. So we said, okay, what we're going to do, each one of us can call for a rematch if we want to. I can tell you unequivocally, if Sergey were to not be successful, he's going to want his title back. I can't tell you what the other side would feel like if it worked the other way. So that's why it's a little tricky.
So let's talk a little bit about the card then. So we know the main event is phenomenal. Any other fight on there that is really intriguing to you that you want people to really tune in to watch, whether it's on the free telecast or whether it's on the pay-per-view telecast?
Well, I'm more familiar with the pay-per-view telecast because I don't have any of the fighters on the free telecast. You got to talk to Rock Nation about that, but no, it's fine. It's kind of weird. We've got this kind of balkanized promotion. They're kind of running their promotion. We're running ours, but it works. We of course have Curtis Stevens on the card, and it's always worth watching Curtis.
It's always a treat.
Always a treat. He's fighting James De La Rosa. That just has car wreck written all over it. So I really think that's a fight people will want to see. Curtis he's been working with John David Jackson. He's given him a whole new life. You saw when he fought Patrick Teixeira how dynamic he was, and the most amazing thing was he didn't knock him out with his left hand. He knocked him out with his right.
Yeah.
That's a whole new wrinkle to Curtis's game, which has made me so happy to see. And so we're gonna get another treat with Curtis, and if he's successful, we really want to get him into that mix at middleweight again because he deserves another title shot if he does.
Speaking of which, we had Curtis on with us yesterday or day before yesterday. He said he's looking at this as the road back to Golovkin. What are your thoughts on this potentially being the road back to Golovkin for Curtis Stevens?
Well, I think it's going to be a bit of a long road. He's going to have to win some other kind of signature fight, shall we call it, to get there.
Yeah.
But if he does that, then absolutely, because this is a new man. And I love the fact that he wants a challenge. Most people don't want to fight Golovkin. All we hear about is how nobody will fight him. So if Curtis gets a couple of really significant wins, who knows? Of course, we'll try.
And I feel like this is his road to Canelo. I mean, he said Golovkin, and I get it. I get why he would say that, because nobody wants to fight Golovkin anyway. And he's like, shoot, I'll fight him again. But I feel like this is his road to Canelo. I mean, I feel like if he can finally get that Lemieux fight for whatever reasons, I mean, I feel like.
And I think when I talk about a signature win, that road, I think Canelo's on it, absolutely on the way. The only road to Golovkin, you're correct, would run through a fight like that.
Yeah.
So we're working on it, and he needs to look really impressive tomorrow.
I think what you guys did yesterday or the day before was really clever. You did the first ever trainer debate.
Actually, it was the second.
Was it? Who was first?
The first one was Angelo Dundee and Emmanuel Stewart when Leonard fought Hearns, and it was my idea. So we're all sitting there going, okay, it's been like how many years? 35 years. We can pull this one out of our ass again. Why not? Nobody,
perfect.
Nobody remembers. But I apparently am the only one. Everybody else is dead. So so we figured we'll try it again because we had this really good mix of personality where you could do it. I mean, in all these years, I never suggested doing it again, but this was the one where it was, this one's perfect.
There's some genuine animosity there, and maybe a little jealousy and all, but John David Jackson, so I was reading a lot online that Abel Sanchez has been taking a lot of credit for making, Kovalev who he is, and I'm just like, I never remembered Abel being in any Kovalev corner. So how long did Abel have Sergey?
Well, it wasn't a very long time. The last time he worked with Abel was in 2011. So, and he turned pro in 2009, and I'm not sure if Abel was with him from the start. It was a brief time. Sergey came into his camp truly as Golovkin's sparring partner. That was the reason he was there, as far as Abel was concerned. Sergey was there because he was sure he was going to be a champion of the world, and he wanted to be treated like one. And there's those stories out there about the sparring sessions between them and, who knocked who down and what happened. And Sergey was an 8-round fighter at the time, and Golovkin was getting ready to go defend his world title. Yeah. Sergey just got back from a long layoff. It was his first day in the gym. Golovkin was doing his last training session before going to fight. Yeah. And he knocked the wind out of Sergey, and Sergey just said, do I get up and beat up my friend before he goes to fight, or do I just walk away? And so he walked away. Yeah, interesting. But that's the truth of that rumor, and it's okay. The beauty of this is that if anybody doubts that Sergey knows how to fight with a heavy-handed puncher, the reason Abel wanted him there was because he was the only guy who can hang in there with Golovkin, and that's when he was an 8-round fighter.
In your history of working within boxing, fans nowadays love these urban legends. So-and-so knocked out so-and-so when they were sparring, were they in camp? Has that always been fodder for discussion? People, I heard that this fighter knocked out this fighter when they were in camp together. Or is this just a new thing for fans to keep stoking the interest?
Those legends have always been out there. The general rule in the old days was what happens in the gym stays in the gym, which I think it should. Yeah. Because it's practice. And when people bring us fighters, we have sort of what do we want to call it? Everyone in our office has our ears up. The second somebody brings a fighter to us and says, let me tell you about the guy he knocked out in the gym, or let me tell you about the world champion who doesn't want to spar with him, we turn off. Right. Because the truth is that if you're sparring with a world champion, you're not in there to prove you're better. The champion, if he sees a guy coming to tear his head off in practice, he should walk away. Yeah. That's not what this is about.
To get work.
Evander Holyfield never called it training, he called it practice. And that's what it is. And so to go out and practice with someone and try to beat them up, it's foolish. Why don't you learn something from the person? Why don't you go in there and see what this person has to give you? Gym wars, all they do is cut your career short. And I've seen a real tendency there's a certain kind of guy out there who wins the gym wars, but somehow doesn't win when he's in the ring. And that is a very common phenomenon.
Yeah. You brought up Holyfield, so I have to bring up Don Turner. So I heard, and you could tell me if I'm wrong, that, Kovalev had a really hard time signing with someone, with a promoter. Oh, yeah. And Don Turner told him, call Kathy Duva. He did. Is that for real?
Don called me.
Yeah?
And said, there's a fighter I need you to look at. And he's never in his life called. I've known Don Turner since Holyfield was fighting. He's like It's like the grandfather I never had, you know. And I told Don, whenever you put your arm around me when I see you, it's the only time I ever feel safe.
Aww.
But he's wonderful. But he's never called up and said, you know, I've got a fighter for you. So when Don Turner calls up and says, you have to sign this guy, you pay attention.
Uh-huh.
So Jolene and I went and met Agus, Sergey's manager, at Don's suggestion, and he said, I've got this guy, and I've invested so much money in him, and I have such belief in him, and I know this guy's going to be champion if somebody give him a chance. Would you just put him on a card and take a look at him? I said, of course. Mm-hmm. Happily, we had the NBC series then. We had the platform to do that. Jolene said, I'm going to put him in with Darnell Boone.
The rematch?
Because she said he fought a one-point split decision with this guy. Mm-hmm. We will be able to tell if he improved, because if he's on a level of Darnell Boone, no offense to Darnell, but where's he going?
Yeah.
So you saw what he did, obliterated him in 2 rounds, and that was it. The moment I laid eyes on him, I knew it. And what a wonderful thing. This guy from complete obscurity to where he is in just 4 years, which is, you know, we said to him, you just got to win the fights. You win the fights, we'll get you there. And he wins the fights.
Well, he's been exciting in boxing for sure. John David Jackson says that Andre Ward has 3 weaknesses, but he won't say what those 3 are.
He won't tell me
Can you guess?
No, I have no idea. I'm not going to do that.
Nobody will tell me Ward's weaknesses.
We'll tell you tomorrow night.
All right.
Kathy, it's always a pleasure speaking with you. You're such a pioneer for women, such an inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
We appreciate your contributions.
You are pioneers too.
Oh, thank you. That's so flattering. And so we're excited for just tomorrow. The stare down today, it just gave me chills.
Oh, that was something. Let me tell you, I have been fortunate enough to be standing in the middle of a lot of good stare downs. That was great. Primo stare down. Yeah, no, that's always a sign that something's going to happen.
Yes. All right, thank you for coming on the Morning
Thank
Punch
you.
Show.
Thank you.
Thank you. We love you.
And we're back. We're so grateful we were able to bring you Kathy Duva's interview in its entirety with no interruption. Kathy Duva has been in and around this sport for many, many, many years. Some great stories there. That was really good when she told us that the first debate was actually Emmanuel Stewart and Dundee. I thought this was the very first one.
Yeah, she goes way, way back. And, you know, I asked her, how many pay-per-view events has she been involved in? I think I didn't even realize how many, and too many to count. So, you know, she's not the new girl on the block by far. She goes way back. She comes from the old school cloth, which was cool. So, Jay, during this interview, she mentioned, and she kind of giggled about it, that, you know, we're running our own promotion and Rock Nation's kind of running their own promotion, and I guess it kind of works.
Right.
And that is really how it's felt out there. She wasn't lying. She wasn't sugarcoating anything. We have kind of felt that, where there is a bit of a separation. You see what Main Events is doing. You see their social media is heavy. They're doing a lot of promoting. Sergey Kovalev, it seems like every week he was interviewing, doing something, a media workout, a tour, a different city. They really had him out there, and we didn't see that much from Rock Nation.
Not at all. As we know, Andre Ward is not the most open with the media, and that's his right. He can do whatever he likes, but it is a pay-per-view fight. And he's just not accessible unless you're part of a select few. And, I mean, from tweets to social media to interviews to major media interviews, you know, sometimes we're the little guy, so we're not always going to get who we want to get. But even major media